Hi, everybody. John Cena here, and welcome to FunkQuest Season 5, Episode 3. And we have something that we haven't had for quite a while, in that we have a walkover, technology and time zones and all that stuff of betas, and we can't get the show that we wanted to get. However, we have a very helpful assistant head funkster today. Joshua Shea has agreed to step into the episode. So we do have a show for you, so that's excellent. We can carry on regardless, as the beautiful South saying. Was it them? I don't know. So anyway, Funkster, who is already through to the semi-final. So Bobby, you can just sit there smoking if you want, but tell us who you are and where you're dialing in from.
I'm Bobby Hedglin-Taylor, and I'm from New York City in the United States.
And you just tell me that you're a trapeze teacher.
Yeah, I was a trapeze artist for about 35 years, 37 years altogether, if you count the pandemic. Trained acrobats for Broadway shows, worked on and off Broadway, worked on the road, traveled with circuses, rode elephants, done all the things that an acrobat does. And now I'm now more of a teacher, since I had hip replacement a year ago. And also through the pandemic, I found out that I could be an author. So I actually wrote 2 books.
All very funky pastimes.
Absolutely. And they're all artistic. I think art is, it doesn't matter the canvas, as long as you're an artistic person, keep expressing yourself. That's kind of what I do.
There you go. Joshua, you've been on before, so, you better give us like the trotted Joshua canned speech.
Hi, I'm Joshua Shea. I am a pornography addiction coach. I'm also a betrayal trauma coach, and I was the biggest loser on season 5.
The biggest loser. We don't borrow other people's trademarks in this show. Is that
okay? I was the most impressive loser in season 5.
Well, let's just say, because Joshua's played before, we're going to make him go first, or request that he goes first. The rules of FunkQuest are simple. Each funkster selects one of 4 icons. Behind each icon is a question which may or may not have anything to do with the icon. The funkster then has 1 minute to tell a story, tell a joke, or maybe even answer the question. After each funkster has answered 5 questions, it's up to you to vote on who you think gave the best responses. Stay tuned until the end of the show to learn how to do that. Joshua, you can pick a jukebox, a red car, some thread, needle, cotton thing, or a Vegas sign.
The only thing of these I've ever stood in front of is the Vegas sign, so I will pick that.
Well, I know you're a bit of a health freak. What is your favorite takeaway?
My favorite takeout is Chinese, absolutely. And I recognize that most Chinese restaurants all buy the same stuff from the same giant wholesalers. So all of the buffets in this world that are Chinese buffets generally taste the same, unless it's a, something special, little independent, gourmet place. And I like that. When I'm traveling, I love Chinese food. I love to get it to my hotel. And I know that for the most part, it's going to be the same anywhere in the United States. It's like an Olive Garden or another big box restaurant. You know what you're going to get. So when I do takeout, it's almost always Chinese.
If you've listening and you've never been to a Chinese supermarket or a South Asian supermarket, you go there, you got a big bag of rice about this big, or flour to make chapati breads or whatever. So I've been to a Chinese supermarket.
I lived in Tokyo, Japan for 7 months when I was younger. So I got to go in lots of those shops. And I remember the thing that blew my mind the most was that if you translated the money, an apple was $8 American and a cantaloupe was $90 American. And that just blew my mind.
Excellent. Thank you. So Bobby's hopefully got the idea. If you can pick the same icon only if you have a funky story about that question, but otherwise it's bad form. Jukebox, red car, or thread and tape?
I love sewing. I create a lot of clothes. So bingo, let's go with the sewing icon.
Excellent. How do you cheer someone up?
That's a good one. I try to think of as many positive things as possible to throw at them. Remind them that they are a good person. Remind them that they may have slipped up, may have made a mistake, but that there's always redemption and that there's always possibilities. And if somebody is sad for other reasons, I always go for the laugh. I'm a part-time stand-up comic, so I always try to make people laugh as much as possible. That was that's always my message. It's my mother's message. And it was her gift to me was comedy and humor, because we had stand-up comedy in our home the whole time I was growing up, because my mother would play them incessantly on 8-track. So we had every Borscht Belt recording of Joan Rivers, Dom DeLuise, Jackie Mason, then Robin Williams, later in life, Eddie Murphy, Whoopi Goldberg. And so stand-up has been in my life the whole time. So I like to make people laugh.
It is a strange world where, I mean, you can remember like Mork and Mindy, right? Nano.
Oh God, yeah. I have it on DVD. I have the
Really?
whole collection. Yes.
Series. Well, there's a question coming up about what TV series have you binged? So, I mean, you can watch it on YouTube, but it's not the same as having to rock up on a Friday night and it's there.
I never remember what time they were on, but I just knew I was addicted to it, and I loved Robin Williams. He's one of my heroes. One of the few people I got to meet in my entire life that I just like. My heart was racing. He was in a onesie on a bike, and the hair that he had on his back was insane. He looked like he was wearing a cardigan, and he was actually bike riding through Central Park. And I just stopped him. I was like, "You're my absolute hero. I can't say enough good about all that he's done for me." And he gave me a hug, and he was all sweaty, and I was like, "I got Robin Williams sweat all over me." So,
Joshua, question 2: some egg basket. Village on stilts, a soldier, or some yellow flowers?
Let's go for the Village on Stilts.
Village on stilts. Where do you think you will never go?
Outside of the United States again.
Why?
I've been to about 20 countries, and they were all lovely, and I did it. But the last few vacations I've taken have been road trips in the U.S., and there is such varied landscape, such varied cultures, such varied people that I don't like to fly. Not that I'm scared; it's just boring. And I would rather, if I can spend 5 days getting to you, I'd rather do that than take a flight that takes 3 hours. I have no interest in seeing places I've seen outside of the U.S., and there are so many great places here that I could just keep going in circles and never get bored. So it's a big country, it's not like I'm in Luxembourg, it's a big country with a lot to see. So I think I will probably never leave this country again. And it's not any kind of wave the flag patriotism. It's just that there's still so much more to see here.
Well, I once read that about French people. French people very rarely go outside France on what we call summer holidays.
And we thank them for it.
Well, what I was going to say was, if you're a tourist board person who listens to the show in the US and you want to host Joshua, let's get you on the show and you can tell us why your location is so funky. Question 2, Bobby, you can pick as an egg basket, a soldier, or a yellow flower.
Let's see. Not interested in the military, not interested in Easter. Let's go with flowers.
Good question. For you, as a trapeze artist, what is the most ridiculous thing you wore?
Oh God. Okay, this is I don't know. So the song Californication came out, and I was working with a group that was sort of an offbeat circus company. And they were like, we need you to be as naked as possible and do a routine to Californication. So I wore a dreadlock wig and, like a surfer dude kind of wig. And I grew out my goatee and I wore a sock on my John Thomas.
Whatnot, yeah.
And performed on a rope that I had rope burns in the most unique places I never thought I would ever get rope burns in. And no, there is no video of that because I didn't want anybody taking pictures of my John Thomas covered in a sock.
When in time was this?
It would have been early 90s.
It's about that time, middle to late 90s, when the last time people could go out without everybody waving a phone, taking photographs of what they look like.
Absolutely, and I'm so glad of it. There was a lot of stuff that I did in the 90s that I am so glad are not on video. There's stuff that has been resurfacing slowly, but let's just say that.
Move on, quick. Next question. Josh, question 3. Tower Bridge, a cereal bowl, a toy clown, or a sheep?
Let's go with the sheep.
Sheep. Good question. What do you do when no one is looking?
These days, now that I'm recovered, I try to do the exact same thing that I do when people are looking, because that's just as important to keep a healthy life for myself. But what do I do when no one is looking? I watch the worst TV possible. I don't want people to know just how trashy and bad and toxic for my brain the type of stuff I watch on TV is, so I only do it by myself.
Can you tell us?
Bad game shows, a lot of those dating shows on Netflix. I love to watch pimple popping videos on social media. I don't know how I found them, but I just keep going to them. And I actually watch so many. I could be a dermatologist now that I can identify every skin problem. And if you didn't have to go to school and could get a job just using that little metal thing popping blackheads all day, that would be my dream job, because it's so calming to watch that, in my opinion.
I don't think YouTube recommends stuff like that to me, and I'm probably, on the face of it, quite thankful.
I know. I know how it sounds, but if you get it, you get it. I saw Bobby looking and nodding. He gets it.
Yeah. If you are the star of a TikTok or a YouTube pimple popping video, get in touch.
Or don't.
Yeah. Bobby, question 3, Tower Bridge. A cereal bowl or a toy clown?
You know, I used to live in the UK, so I'm going to go with the Tower Bridge.
This is a question that I was alluding to earlier on. What things do you have a collection of?
It's very specific. They are lamps, and they have, and here I can even show you one.
Yeah, please.
They're little turtles. They're turtles that light up, and they have little shells that light up. And I have, I think, 37 of them in my house. They're all different shells, so I collect them. And they're also, it's very specific because I was on the road most of my entire adult life. I was away from my home. I carried my home on my back. So I always identified with turtle as a totem, and sort of, so when I saw these Tiffany style lamps, I was like, I have to have one. And then one led to 12. And now I have, like I said, 37 of them in my house.
So if when you go to the supermarket to buy, like, your washing powder and your stuff like that, if you see they've got a sale on the stuff near the door, these things piled up like this, will you just buy one?
I'm buying them all. They're kitschy, they're cute. And I used to travel with one, actually. I used to have one in my suitcase so that I had a nightlight that reminded me of home. So it was just kind of like this affinity to the animal that carries its home on its back.
It's a good job I'm not the judge, because, you'd just be going through. Joshua will be out. Question 4, Joshua, you can pick the Juventus football team, a dog, a boat plane, or some houses.
Well, since it's not Tottenham, I won't go for that one. I will take the seaplane.
Seaplane, the boat plane. When did you last do a quiz, apart from FunkQuest?
I took a quiz on Thursday for my daughter's psychology class in college. She's not doing too well. I am kind of taking the class over for her since I know plenty about it. And I took a quiz that was timed online, and I'm proud to say I got a 96. But technically, she got a 96.
Well, more importantly, has she fixed the flat tire on a car, or have you fixed the flat tire on a car?
Yeah, her tires are all good now. We had to spring for it because she still didn't see the value of having 4 round tires that are dependable. But yeah, and she does her thing, and I rescue her. And this just happened to be a psychology quiz for her college.
Today, last FunkQuest tires. Today, psychology quiz. I don't know what it's going to be next.
Just change the name to How Did Josh Save His Daughter This Week?
Yeah, she took up trapezing with Bobby and he had to go rescue her. Next question, Bobby, question 4, the Juventus football team or soccer team.
I love dogs. Go right for the dog.
Go for the dog, straight in, zeroed in. What was the longest you queued for?
Trying to get into Burning Man in 2013. Burning Man is a big festival here in the desert in Nevada, and so it was my first year going, and we were in line for 13 hours trying to get into the desert. It's a single lane highway to get into this huge event in the middle of the Reno desert, the Black Rock City desert, about 3 hours outside of Reno. That was by far the longest I've ever stayed in line.
What did you have to go through? That thing on Blazing Saddles that kept opening and shutting that they got to go through? That you have to go through?
No,
that?
There's a thing. They only let a certain amount of people in every hour so that the city doesn't get packed. But the other time I stayed in line for about 12 hours was for the Thompson Twins concert in 1984. It was the Thompson Twins at Allentown Fairgrounds. My friends and I got there super early in the morning, and we waited so that we could be in the front row. And I still have photos of the front row of the Thompson Twins.
Thompson Twins. Can't remember the names. There was a woman with big hair.
Yep. Alana Curry.
That's pretty safe with any 80s band.
Well,
yeah,
a woman with big hair, yeah.
We had hats and neon gloves. I mean, we were
leg warmers.
No leg warmers for me. I had neon boat shoes, neon socks, neon gloves, and a hat. This really weird hat. She had a lot of hats, and
she had a lot of hats. The hat came up like.
Yeah, they were probably one of the second British invasion, I would say, that brought over different techno music.
The new wave.
It was the early 80s. Yeah. It was a new wave. It was kind of like the first wave of MTV here as well. So they were my favorite band at that time.
They weren't really that big over here.
In the States they were for a period of time. And
Hold Me Now was huge.
Yeah. They did a few more albums after that, and they got minor success. And I think now they live in Australia somewhere in the
Sheep Herders.
Yeah, Sheep Farm. That's right. Alana and Tom are married, and they have a sheep farm. And the other guy, Joe Leeway, I don't know what happened to him, but again, that was the other time I've been in a really long queue.
Question 5, Joshua. You can pick some test tubes, some flip flops, fish and chips, or some wire type USB thing.
Let's go with the test tubes.
Test tubes. Now, apart from your daughter getting a flat tire or flunking her exam, when was the last time you got good news?
Yesterday, I was invited to give a speech to a class at the University of Maryland about pornography addiction, which is my specialty in the real world. I love talking to college students, and because of the pandemic, I haven't been able to do that for a long time. So I'm really looking forward to taking, a chance to be in front of people again, especially some young people, talking about this subject. That absolutely made my weekend when I was invited to that.
Excellent. Congrats. You've got some kind of power as an external person. You walk in like some kind of demigod.
I do that everywhere I go.
Well, yeah, I mean, even the supermarket,
Exactly. Yeah. You can't see the radiating light, but it's there.
It's just off camera, I think.
Yeah, it's off to the left.
Bobby, last but not least, you can pick some flip-flops, some fish and chips, or some USB wired type stuff.
Well, I miss the UK. I love the UK, and I love fish and chips. So let's go with fish and chips.
Fish and chips, excellent. How do you keep fit? And I don't know which baseball park this is.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Keeping fit.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. It's Pittsburgh. Sorry.
Is it?
Oh, I wouldn't know one if I was sitting on it. Honestly, I have no idea. How do I keep fit? I don't. I have been trying so damn hard. The thing, I was an acrobat for my entire life, so your body's metabolism is at a certain height, so that when you decrease activity, it still requires that heightened amount of activity. So I'm in my 50s. I'm not 22 anymore. I do play racquetball. I do walk to and from work. I get on and off the train. I still train in the acrobatic world, even though I had hip replacement. But I'm still the exact same weight I was a year ago. So I guess I'm fit, but I'm not skinny. And, when you spend most of your life in the acrobatic world, you know how to maintain your body. Yeah. And I guess I'm in shape, but I guess pear is a shape. Round is a shape. I still have my upper body, which is nice, but from here down, it's like,
fitness is specific. So, you go like the race walking at the Olympics, you probably won't be able to do that, but, neither would they be able to do what you do.
No, but hey, I'm also in a different part of my life now, and I'm passing it on to the children.
That's nice. Yeah, good. Pass it forward, or whatever corny phrase it is. Anyway, gents, thank you so much. That's the end of the show. And Bobby, congratulations. By the power vested in me by nobody in particular, you are through to the next round. Joshua, thank you so much for
Yay! Thank you.
Providing the show. Bobby, how can we contact you and find out more about you, buy your book, and just generally consume your stuff?
My book is called #Bleep My Mama Says. You can find it on Amazon. You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Bobby Hedglin-Taylor or at Escape to Ravioli Mountain. That's the name of my cookbook. So Escape to Ravioli Mountain or Bobby Hedglin-Taylor on both Instagram and TikTok. You can find me there. Find me for recipes. You can find me for stories about my mom. You can just follow my stand-up on YouTube. And come see me. If you're in the United States, in New York, I do stand-up almost every week now. And it's been like amazing that I'm getting booked everywhere. So I'm happy to do that too.
Excellent. We'll see you in the semi-final. Joshua, how can we find out more about you and buy all your stuff?
Yeah, I've got a brand new book for pornography addicts that just came out on Amazon. It is called I'm Reading This Book About Porn Addiction for a Friend. And you can learn more about it through my website, paddictrecovery.com. That's the letter P, addictrecovery.com. That's also my handle throughout socials, except for TikTok, where I am now called That Corn Coach.
Did you get banned?
Oh, of course I did. Of course I did. I sneezed wrong or something, or
did the TikTok men come around to your house and 4 o'clock in the morning and
yeah, absolutely. They beat the crap out of me and left me in the backyard and said, "Pick a new name."
Pick a new name.
Yeah, that's exactly what they do. I'm glad that's getting out there. We're breaking some news here, Jonathan.
That's it. You only get so I listen to the end of the show. Gents, thank you so much for being on the show. And Bobby, we'll see you in the semi-final.
Yay! Thank you so much for having me.
Right,
Nice to meet you all.